Hashtag. How about that? All right. It's Election Day. Finally, it's taken us a long time to get here. Honored to have Josh Hawley joining us, candidate for Attorney General in the great state of Missouri. Hopefully our next Attorney General in the great state of Missouri. Josh, how are you?
I'm doing great, Mark. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So tell me how this thing wrapped up for you.
Well, I was yesterday had the privilege to be all over our state. I was there in the St. Louis area, up in northeast Missouri, northwest Missouri, down to the southwest, 7 different stops, I think it was. Mid-Missouri as well. And so, it was a whirlwind tour, great way to go out. Voted this morning with my family, and pretty soon here we'll be gathering to watch the results. So it's been a good day, and this is it. Decision day's here.
Yeah, I'm glad, when I see the latest polls from Missouri, there's such a gap in some of these races, and then others are just skin tight. So I guess the goal here is just to remind people how important it is, even if you're facing a 1-hour wait to vote, to get out there and vote, because literally a couple of votes per precinct could make a difference in a couple of these close races.
Oh, that's absolutely true. I mean, this is go vote, and look, if you've already voted, get out your cell phone, look at your contacts list, go through every person who's in the state of Missouri on your cell phone, and send them a text, give them a call, ask them if they have voted. Because we need the votes. I mean, this is a great day for us as a democracy, as a free people. This is the day where we get to make our voices heard. All the pundits and all the so-called experts have all been weighing in for months, and finally today, we the people get to say something. And that's right, Missouri is a key state. We have got to elect a conservative attorney general who's going to stand up for Missouri. We've got to elect a U.S. senator who's going to stand up for us and push back against the federal government. We need a new governor. So, this is a big day for our state, and what we do here in Missouri is going to matter nationally.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day about Chris Koster, and their comment to me was that he lost them. They might have considered voting for him, except he lost them over the way he handled Ferguson. And I think it's a great example of how this position you're running for plays such a key role in this state. And you imagine what might have been if we'd had a little more leadership in that position.
Ferguson, it really, the lesson from Ferguson really is that leadership matters. And Chris Koster failed us in Ferguson. Jay Nixon failed us in Ferguson. They failed by not standing up and standing by law enforcement against those who would bring disruption to our communities. No neighborhood in the state of Missouri should have to endure the kind of violence and disorder that those in Ferguson did. And to watch entire neighborhoods and communities burn and do nothing is really just unconscionable. And Chris Koster and Jay Nixon have a lot to answer for, and that's why I can't believe Koster now thinks he's due a promotion after his sorry performance as Attorney General. And we need a new Attorney General. We need an Attorney General who's going to fight for Missouri against the dysfunction in Washington, D.C., who is going to stand up for the rule of law in our state, who is going to stand up for the people of our state, the businesses of our state, the farmers and families of our state, and that's why I'm running.
Well, speaking of dysfunction, Donald Trump often talks about draining the swamp in Washington, and I think the establishment knows exactly what he's talking about. I mean, he's running as a bit of an outsider. You're running as someone who hasn't held office before. I think that's winning over some people. That there's an undercurrent in this election that maybe hasn't been fully represented in some of these polls.
Well, I think that the people are sick and tired. The ones I talk to anyway are sick and tired of the political establishment. And that includes me. The political establishment, the career politicians have failed us in Washington, and they've failed us in Missouri. And this is a reason why we need a new Attorney General. We have had one professional politician after another as Attorney General for years. I think the Attorney General was like the 4th or 5th office that Chris Koster ran for, ditto Jay Nixon before him. My opponent, this is the 7th or 8th different office she's run for. She's been running for office since I was 8 years old, Mark. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's unbelievable. We need somebody who actually has been a constitutional lawyer, who wants to defend the people of Missouri and is ready to do it, and isn't just climbing the political ladder. So, we've got that chance. We've got a chance to make that choice today, and we need to make it in all of our offices. We need to elect people who are going to stand up for Missouri and fight for Missouri and our families and our businesses and our farms, and put Missouri first and not their political careers.
Josh Hawley, I'm hoping we can have you back on the air when you are Attorney General-elect.
I would love that. I would love that.
We'll look forward to it. Hey, best of luck today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you very much. Josh Hawley there, running for Attorney General in the state of Missouri and up in the last poll. So be sure you get out there and vote and support him. So we're hoping that those races, he had a little more 8 or 10 point gap in his race. He was in the lead. But you look at the Blunt race, much closer. The governor's race, much closer. So these are important. It's just make sure that your family members don't get scared off by the crowds. Get out there and vote, please.